What's going on, guys? I'm Adam from Texas Garage, and I'm really excited about what we got today. This is the all-new 2020 Hyundai Palisade. Now, I drove this back in Idaho last year on the launch from Hyundai, and that was a full day of driving it through the backcountry roads, up a mountain trail, highway driving. Lots of driving that we did, but this time I've had it for a full week. I've had it with the family. Really excited again. Let's jump into the review. So first of all, I hope you go check out that other Palisade video as well, but I hope you enjoy this one. If you're enjoying it, if you like the Palisade, hit that thumbs up button right now. Before we get into the exterior design and the rest of the vehicle, let's talk about the SUVs that Hyundai is selling, and let's talk about the trims of the Palisade. So as of the Venue coming out right after this Palisade, Hyundai has 7 SUVs in their lineup. At first you have the Nexo, which is a fuel-efficient small SUV. Next you have the Kona that I really like, and the Kona EV. And then you have the tried and true Tucson and the new Santa Fe, of course this Palisade, and the all-new Venue. That's really quite a lineup for the Hyundai brand, and it really shows you their dedication to the American market. As far as this Palisade goes, you have 5 trims. The base trim is an SE, and then you have the SEL. Then you have the SEL with the convenience package and the SEL with the premium package. And finally, you have the limited at the top of the line, which is what we're driving here. Now, of course, I say this all the time with pretty much every review that I do, but I really wish that I would get a more base level trim. I know having the top of the line trim, messing with all the cool features and technology packed into this vehicle is a great way to do a review. But for a family man, I really want to jump into that base level trim, see how that is with that base price. But we're gonna have to just deal with what we got here, so let's hit the exterior. So starting off here in the front of the car, you obviously get that nice new Hyundai grille with the surround of the grille in a nice aluminum finish. The headlights are where the design really takes a unique shape, kind of mimicking the design of the new Santa Fe and the Kona. You got the really thin strip of lights on the top, and then your actual headlights are those on the bottom. You have the light bar that runs through the top turn signals down through the headlights, which is a really cool design feature. You do get vents by the headlights here, and this helps with aerodynamics. Now, Hyundai has always liked to push the design envelope, and they've done it with this vehicle. I think it looks really good, and that front end is definitely a unique look. All right, moving along to the side, you get some nice lines. You get the chrome strips up over the windshield and down at the belt line. You get 20-inch wheels on this one and some chrome roof rails. So if you're looking at Hyundai's other 3-row SUV, the Santa Fe XL, this is actually 3 inches longer and 3.6 inches wider. Around the back, you can see that you have the Palisade nameplate all the way across the back, very premium looking and still proudly displaying that Hyundai badge. The taillights are really nicely designed and carry over cues from the headlights with a strip that goes all the way from the top taillights to the bottom. The exhaust pipe here is actually downplayed in this vehicle. It's not supposed to be a sporty SUV. This is supposed to be a family SUV, and one of the ways that they convey that is downplaying the exhaust. While we're here in the back, we'll take a look at the cargo area. Now you can pop the cargo trunk with a push of the button on the remote. You can obviously pop it from a button inside the vehicle. You can pop it from a button on the back of the vehicle, or you can just walk up to the back with the key in your pocket and it will automatically pop, sensing that you're there. Now obviously this isn't the biggest cargo space for a 3rd row SUV. You can get bigger, but it is quite big for its segment. You get 18 cubic feet of cargo space back here, and obviously you can drop these 3rd row seats down and increase that greatly. So the Atlas definitely has a bigger cargo area, and that's what I own and one of the main reasons that I bought it. But this is still a pretty good amount of space. Now, if you do want to drop this 3rd row in this limited trim, It's a matter of a push of a button. This is one of the big distinguishing factors against this and the Telluride. You can hit the buttons right here in the back, and it will automatically fold those seats down. And if you need the second row folded down, you can do that with the push of a button too. It'll automatically drop the seats. You can't automatically fold them back up. You got to move to the front to do that. But you hit the button and those seats will fold down as well. Other things you get back here are a 12 volt 180 watt accessory plug, and you get that nice Harman Kardon sub back here, and you can lift up a tray that will give you extra storage space. So under the hood is a 3.8 liter V6 engine. This pushes 291 horsepower, 262 foot-pounds of torque, and is matched up to an 8-speed Shiftronic transmission. All right, and with that, let's jump inside, check out the interior. Let's start with the very back seats. So first of all, getting into the third row is as easy as pushing a button. It folds in and slides forward, and then you got a pretty easy entrance into the rear seats. Now this one too, because it's the two captain's chairs, you could walk in the middle of those, but we're in the third row right now. I've got the seat pulled back. I still have knee room back here. Headroom's a little bit tight, but you do get a little extra hump right here for that extra headroom. You do get buttons back here to lean the seat back more, which helps with that headroom. You also get a USB charging port back here on both sides, which is phenomenal for the family. You also have two cup holders on each side, and getting in and out is made easier with a little grab handle built into the side of the car right here. Not only is it nice and comfortable back here, you do get really nice seats, just like you do in the middle row and the front. For adults, this is probably a 2 wide back seat, but for kids, you can definitely fit 3 back here if you need to. So if you've got the full middle row, this can be an 8-seater, or in this configuration, it's a 7-seater. Now in the second row, again, you've got a lot of space. This front seat is actually pushed back because when the car turns off, the front seat pushes back. It's supposed to be a luxurious thing, but sometimes it annoys me a lot. But with the seat in my actual driving position, there's plenty of room back here for your second row passengers, and the second row gets a lot of amenities. These are really nice captain's chairs with the same leather and materials used in the front row. Even the detail here on the doors are really nice back here. These seats are also heated and cooled. You get your own temperature controls back here. You get a 115 volt, 150 watt power outlet and a 12 volt, 180 watt accessory port. You also get 2 cup holders on each side built into the door, really nice. And you might be saying you got that power outlet and accessory port, but where are the USB ports? They're actually built into the driver's and passenger seat right here for easy access. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's jump up in the front. All right, so there is a lot going on in here, so we're gonna run through as much as possible. Again, I probably covered some stuff in the previous review that I'm not gonna cover here, and I'll probably cover some stuff here that I didn't get to in the previous review. First of all, Hyundai switched to an electric gear shifter, so you have push buttons for all of your gears. This frees up a lot of the console area and even a pass-through down below the console. The console is quite big. You've got a lot of storage space and 2 cup holders here, plus 2 cup holders in the door. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cup holders in the entire car. The whole interior scheme here is black on black, and I quite like it. We do have this gray mesh accent here on the console and on the doors. That's pretty nice, but I really love these seats. They're leather, they're quilted, they're perforated. Really nice. Obviously, the seats up here are also both cooled and heated, and we have a heated steering wheel. The steering wheel is obviously also leather. You've got the basic Hyundai controls that you always have on Hyundai vehicles on here, and it's a nice feeling steering wheel. You do get paddle shifters, but quite frankly, I didn't use them the entire time this week, and I didn't use them when I drove it on the launch. So they're there if you need them, but quite frankly, if you really want to pass somebody or really get into it, you just got to mash that gas pedal and it's going to go. Now behind the steering wheel here, you have a really nice full LCD instrument cluster. You can configure it based on what you're doing. It will change based on the drive mode you're in. And as you hit the turn signals, you'll actually get displays from the cameras of what's in the lane beside you. Lots of great tech and features in this. Of course, this is the limited one. You do get different displays here depending on the trim level you buy. Your infotainment screen is a 10.25-inch touchscreen display. You do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in. You also have a wireless phone charger. The surround sound system that's in this limited trim is the Harman Kardon surround sound system. It's a first ever for Hyundai, and it sounds really good in this vehicle. You get some other tech built into this vehicle that are specific for families. One of the big ones is Driver Talk. You can push that and it turns on a microphone up here and the speakers back there so that you can communicate with the third row very easily. It will cut out the audio if you have music playing. Let me turn it off because it's a little bit annoying if you're the only one in the vehicle and you can hear yourself talking. You also have what Hyundai dubs the quiet mode, and this will make sure that for the third row and second row seats, the speakers will never get above volume level 7. So if you've got a sleeping kid in the car, you can still have the radio playing up front, but it's not as loud in the back for the kids. Another cool safety feature that Hyundai built into this car is called Rear Safe Exit. So if you're parked and it senses something coming up beside the car, like another car, it will not let these back doors open just in case a car is flying by and you're going to get hit. And this system will actually stay active up to 10 minutes after you turn the car off. So if you park, turn the car off, and then the kids try to get out, you're still safe. All right, and with that, let's take it for a drive and see how she drives. So one of the biggest things that set this vehicle apart from other large SUVs in the segment is the way that it drives. I really think that Hyundai has just been nailing their steering racks, steering columns, the feel of driving, the feel of being behind the wheel of a vehicle. Ever since I drove I think it was like the 2017 Elantra GT, I think that Hyundai has just been progressing more and more on top of that, and they've been doing a fantastic job. So if you've seen any of my reviews on the Volkswagen Atlas, this is a SUV that I actually bought and own myself. It's a great 3-row SUV for a really great price, but my biggest issue, my biggest complaint with it is the steering feel. I think it feels a little bit too light. I would like it to be heavier and more confidence-inspiring, and that's where Hyundai nailed this vehicle. Yes, it's got a nice design. Yes, it's got a lot of tech. Yes, it has a really nice interior. But whenever you get behind the wheel and get in and drive, a lot of that stuff disappears, and the way that it drives really takes over. So it's really important that it drives well. And again, that's just something that Hyundai nailed in this SUV. And as you may be able to tell, you get very low road noise in this vehicle. It's a quiet and comfortable vehicle to drive. So that helps out if you're taking it on long road trips with the family or just day-to-day driving. You also get different drive modes as well as terrain modes. We have an eco mode, which is basically what I've been driving with it on for the majority of the week. And we've been doing good. We've been averaging 19.1 miles to the gallon. But you also have a comfort mode, just keeping everything more comfortable. You have a sport mode, which definitely engages that throttle pedal even more. You have a smart mode, and you have a snow mode. You can also hit the button here and lock the center diff, which will definitely help you for some of that off-road terrain. We have a hill descent control button. You have that 360 camera that you can always engage and see around the vehicle. It does have the auto start-stop feature where it kills the engine whenever you stop. You can disable it with a click of a button here. This annoys me in a lot of vehicles, but really in this one it never did. It's not a very harsh startup, so if the engine dies when you stop and then it starts back up, it's a very smooth transition, much more than a lot of other vehicles. But again, overall, the driving performance of this vehicle is just spot on. And of course, when we were in Idaho and we were driving this thing for a full day, we did a lot of different terrain. We were able to take some mountain passes that were gravel. That was really fun in this thing. We obviously did highway miles, we did backcountry road miles, and now that I've had it for a week, I've done my normal day-to-day drive, which is a lot of highway miles, a lot of backcountry road miles, a lot of in the city miles. Had it packed full of kids, have it packed full of camera gear, have it packed full of groceries. And every step of the way, this thing has been amazing. One of the other things you get here is an auto leveling rear suspension to help with towing. And I'll put the towing numbers right here for you. Obviously, I didn't get the chance to tow anything with this, but it's nice to know it can handle a little bit of towing. If you've got like a U-Haul trailer or you need to hook something up, you never know when a family needs to tow. So when I drive such a nice family vehicle that I like a lot, one of my biggest concerns always is, what's the price point? Is it affordable to a family like mine? So let's find a place to stop and we'll get into the price, what this compares with, and we'll wrap this video up. All right, so with all that, let's talk a little bit about the price here. A base price for the base trim level, you're looking at $31,550. Now for me, that's an excellent price for a three-row SUV this size. Of course, I want to drive that base trim level. Hopefully I'll have the opportunity to soon, but knowing Hyundai, it's still going to be pretty good. Even the full limited trim has a base price of $44,000, and this one with all the accessories and destination charge and everything is still under $50,000, which to me, that's a great price for everything you get here. Now, obviously, if you're going to compare it, you can compare it to the Volkswagen Atlas, which of course is what I bought and what I own. You have the CX-9 out there, which is a great looking vehicle, but a lot smaller inside. You have the Honda Pilot, which quite frankly is one of the bottom on my list of three-row SUVs that I would buy for my family. You have the Chevy Traverse, which looks really nice now and has a really nice big interior. Of course, the GMC Acadia as well, which if you're going for more premium, that's what you'd be looking at. You have the Nissan Pathfinder, which is a big, capable, good-looking SUV as well, but this actually has a little bit more room inside and behind the third rows as that. You have the Dodge Durango, which if you're looking for power and performance and kind of a manly look, the Durango is a great choice, but you're going to sacrifice on space in the third row and behind the third row. You have the Ford Explorer, and Ford just came out with a brand new Explorer. I haven't driven it yet, but I've heard a lot of great stuff. And you also have the Toyota Highlander. Again, a really nice vehicle, a really capable vehicle, not quite as tech savvy as this one, and it still has a pretty premium price for it. And then you have the Subaru Ascent. I've driven it, I really like it. You're not going to get as nice of an interior or as nice of technology in that as this is. It's also not quite as big with the third row and behind the third row, but it's a nice vehicle if you need that all-wheel drive system, and some of their eyesight tech is pretty cool. All in all, this is a growing field. It's pretty crowded, which I'm excited about. There are a lot of three-row SUVs out on the market now, getting bigger, better for families. We definitely lost that after 2008 when everybody started pulling back, but it's nice to see that they're coming back out. And out of all of those out there, the Kia Telluride, this thing, the Nissan Pathfinder, and of course the Atlas. And those are kind of the top of my list for this segment. And this Palisade, I think, is my number one. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Palisade. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. What's going on, guys? I hope you're enjoying this video so far. If you are, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Also, if you get a chance, go check out TXGARAGE.com. Check out the website. We've got a lot of contributors. We have reviews, we have event coverage, we have news coming out. Lots of great stuff over there. You can sign up for our mailing list to get a weekly wrap-up of everything that was posted for the week. Again, lots of great stuff, lots of great contributors, and I'd appreciate it if you go check that out, as well as subscribing to this channel right here.